Healthy and Happy, presented by AARP New York.
You know the saying, health is wealth, and you don't have to make big changes to feel better.
From dieting and exercising to making regular visits to the doctor to keeping your mental well-being in check, we're showing you everyday ways to be healthy and happy. Thank you for joining us for this PIX11 News special, Healthy and Happy. I'm Erin LeBeau.
And I'm Candace Gibson. For the next 30 minutes, we're going to help you be your best self. And it starts with keeping your body strong and fit while fostering your mental and spiritual health. That's how yoga promotes wellness in your life.
Yeah, James Ford actually visited Yoga and Renew in Hoboken to see how yoga can be a part of healthy living.
All right, welcome everyone. Thanks so much for coming. And you might just start here by listening for the sounds that you hear outside the room.
Hear that? It's part of a calming, centering practice. Sound meditation is one way that yoga can be a key part of wellness.
Over a few minutes, usually, your brain starts to kind of cling on to those sounds that are more resonant and a little bit more soothing.
Another aspect of yoga practice?
Lift your chest, look up, let your belly drop, and then a deep exhale. You learn how to be active in your body but calm in your mind, which then you can take into your real life.
Patrick Franco is one of the directors of this studio where even on a busy workday, the calming support of yoga can renew your spirit. Appropriately, this studio is called Yoga Renew.
You feel at ease, you feel at peace within yourself, you feel calm.
The soaring ceilings, warm wood, and soft mats and cushions make for a spirit-renewing experience in this studio. So do some electronics in this one.
This studio is great, but don't think for a minute you have to be in person to benefit from yoga. What you're doing right now, looking at a screen, you can also do to fully engage in yoga practice.
In an online format, when we're teaching the practices, it's all about still guiding the mind into the present moment.
And then breathing out, folding all the way down.
So at home, on the subway, or by a waterfall in a forest, wellness can still be accessible.
Wherever they are, and the more often you show up and do it, I think the easier it is to find it during times you really need it.
Diet and exercise are great ways to jumpstart your journey to wellness, but a yearly visit to a primary care doctor is also important for your overall health. Many of us take a visit to a primary care doctor for granted, something we wait for until it's needed. But an annual checkup is important, as primary care doctors can be your first defense.
We'll do their annual physical, make sure they have all of their screening done appropriately, get them any vaccinations that are needed.
That visit could make a huge difference when it comes to getting ahead of or catching a major health issue.
If you don't have a primary care and you're not following up with them, then you might miss the signs of a kidney failure issue or another issue like hypertension or stroke.
In urban settings like Brooklyn, chronic illnesses plague the community.
There is a large amount of obesity, and that leads to hypertension, to diabetes, to a lot of significant cancers that occur also.
One of the problems, many people don't have a primary care doctor, in part because of the much-needed education about just how important it is.
It's not accessible in the community. They don't know where to go. They don't know how to select one.
One Brooklyn Health is just one of the organizations in the city that's geared toward helping New Yorkers find that primary care doctor so they can start to live a healthier life.
We're trying to make sure that people in the community are following up with their care and that they're able to manage any chronic illnesses that they have as well as their health, and that they're keeping up with their care.
And as we head towards spring and summer, some people might be thinking about how to turn over a new leaf and improve their health. One option that may be on the table, juicing. Amy Yancey visited a store in the Castle Hill section of the Bronx to learn more about the trend that's gaining popularity over the years.
Juices for Life got its start more than 10 years ago in Castle Hill. Back then, a juice bar in the Bronx almost seemed out of place, given the borough's high rates of obesity, diabetes, and other chronic illnesses. But that's exactly why the owners say they chose to open their first store there.
We're in like low-income neighborhoods where, you know, people don't really have access to a lot of healthy options, and that's where we make our change.
Akil Rolock says the benefits of juicing are undeniable. He says the addition of vitamin shots to fresh fruits, vegetables, and other additives have helped customers improve their health and turn their lives around.
We love people who just started because we know that you're making a commitment to a change in your life.
So you want to put your spinach and your kale in there first. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Boom. So I decided to take him up on the offer to learn a few smoothie recipes myself. The one I make, no one's gonna buy. Lulu Cruz is a frequent customer.
That one is the G5, kale, spinach,
This is what I want.
banana, green apple.
It's good. It's not like the original, but it's something like it.
That was a nice way of saying I messed it up.
You know, us Spanish people, we like to eat good food, so it actually affects you in the long run.
I'm sure you did fine with that, Amy. And before you jump on the juicing trend, keep in mind experts say juices are not meant to replace meals, but they are a great complement.
The hidden hit of nicotine targeting teens.
It's dangerous, and we need to stop it from being marketed to children.
What parents need to know to keep their kids from getting addicted. And a lifeline for senior citizens who are fighting gray loneliness.
Thank God we have it, because where would we go if we didn't have the senior center?
We're back now with a health warning for parents about a nicotine product gaining popularity with teens.
Yeah, it's actually highly addictive. Kieran Dillon explains how it's being fueled by social media.
Zyn and are small pouches of nicotine that are meant to sit in an adult's mouth for up to an hour.
Comes in a whole lot of flavors: smooth, spearmint, citrus, cinnamon, chill. It's dangerous, and we need to stop it from being marketed to children.
Senator Chuck Schumer is now sounding the alarm against the product. He's warning parents, saying the nicotine in them is highly addictive. He says the products are popular with young people, especially on social media.
Kids know what Zyn is. Their parents don't. There are also Zynfluencers who have made nicotine pouches a part of their online personalities.
Dr. Mike Varshavsky agrees. He says some young people incorrectly believe the product is a way to stop smoking.
This product is not part of nicotine replacement therapy as regulated by the FDA.
The doctor adds parents need to be aware of the product to ensure their kids are not using it.
Early dependence on nicotine during adolescence causes issues with learning, attention spans, proneness to addiction while the brain is in development. So I think it's very important that these products are regulated very, very carefully.
Zyn was not available for comment, but says the product is, quote, for adult nicotine consumers 21 plus only. The company requires visitors on its website to go through an age verification process. The company adds it does not recommend its product to those who do not already use nicotine and says, quote, for those consumers concerned about the health effects of smoking or dipping, the best thing to do is to quit. Many New Yorkers we spoke to say they don't even know what Zyn is.
Immediately, that somebody should look into it, pull it apart, figure out what's in it, and then figure out how to regulate it or what needs to happen.
We don't want to get back to where we were with like e-cigarettes and all of those new things that came to market. Let's get ahead of it before it becomes a problem.
Senator Schumer is urging the Federal Trade Commission and the FDA to investigate Zyn for marketing and health impacts on kids.
The dangers of social isolation.
Just staying in the house every day is not good as you get older.
How senior citizens can fight gray loneliness. Plus,
I don't know that my daughter and I would be here today.
The warning that saved a new mother's life.
As people age, social isolation becomes more widespread, and the dangers associated with loneliness can weigh on a senior's mental and physical health.
There's a group in Hoboken that found a way to combat what's called gray loneliness. Henry Rossoff has the story.
And 30
4 times a week, dozens of retired adults enjoy a rousing round of bingo at the Hoboken Multi-Service Center. 92-year-old Korean War veteran Charlie Scholes has run the game for years.
Almost like routine.
One that seniors like Lillian Schroeder rely on.
This is my outlet in life.
We spoke with the 82-year-old before bingo. As everyone here knows, you don't talk during bingo.
16.
Thank God we have it, because where would we go if we didn't have the senior center? You know, just staying in the house every day is not good as you get older.
A lot happens here each and every day to make that possible. It's often just a place to play cards with friends, though there's a full calendar of events each month. Lori Hetzel is a City of Hoboken social worker who comes by to check in and offer services.
Having these social connections improves their quality of life. It gives them something to do, something to look forward to.
But bingo games and other community activities are just the beginning of battling what's become known as great loneliness in recent years, and it can have profound mental and physical consequences.
A statistic came out last year that said that the effects of loneliness were just as great as smoking 17 cigarettes a day.
Dr. Nicole Andrioli is a licensed clinical psychologist with Pathways Psychological Services. She says the key to combating loneliness and isolation is to stay connected, even as friends and family dynamics change with age.
So important steps to take are things like making sure that you live near loved ones, close family and friends, or having a community around you where there are people to socially interact with. People that have shared interests, shared hobbies.
The community has responsibilities as well. You can check in with your aging neighbors and support spaces like this one.
Knock on your neighbor's door. You know, hey, I'm going to the grocery store. Do you need anything? Can I bring your mail in? It's as simple as that.
Because Scholes may run the bingo in this town, but even he'll tell you it's less about the numbers he's calling
24.
and more about the number of people in this room.
Bingo!
Mental health in the spotlight.
And it's all because of this childhood character.
Sometimes when Elmo talks about his feelings, it makes Elmo feel better.
The lesson learned when a simple question triggers people around the world.
Getting enough rest, eating a balanced diet, and taking prenatal vitamins are just some of the ways expectant moms can care for themselves and their babies.
Yeah, but pregnancy also puts an incredible amount of stress on the heart. And for one mother, her last checkup may be the only reason she and her daughter are alive today. McGee Hickey has their story.
I don't know that my daughter and I would be here today had it not been caught early and had I not had the care from my doctor and her team.
Sarah Hyde-Lampa had already suffered 5 miscarriages when at age 42 she was diagnosed with preeclampsia during her pregnancy with her daughter. Preeclampsia signs include higher blood pressure, swelling, nausea, and vomiting, and is often diagnosed through lab work.
I always knew I had high blood pressure, but it wasn't until that appointment that I went to where my blood pressure was so very high that the alarm bells went off. And it was 3 days after that they did the emergency C-section.
Her daughter Elena was just 4 pounds at birth, 5 weeks early. She spent 10 days in the neonatal intensive care unit as doctors spent the same amount of time trying to stabilize Sarah's dangerously high blood pressure.
Pregnancy is that natural cardiovascular stress that physically puts on the body, and then it tests the system for later. And so think about how you could avoid having a heart attack if you knew about it 10 years earlier.
The head of the March of Dimes wants to remind all women, but particularly those diagnosed with preeclampsia during pregnancy, to be on the lookout for signs of cardiovascular disease later in life.
2 out of 3 women who experience preeclampsia will die of cardiovascular disease.
For Sarah Hyde-Lampa, she is just so grateful that her medical team made the preeclampsia diagnosis in time to save her life and her daughter's.
She's 3 years old now, and she's so full of life and so full of energy, and just we couldn't imagine life without her.
Well, vegan and vegetarian lifestyles continue to grow in popularity. They're also proving to have great benefits for preventing disease.
Yeah, a recent study found that switching to a plant-based diet can reduce your risk of diabetes. Health experts say cutting out just even a little meat can go a long way.
Even if you just reduce your meat, like Meatless Monday, once a week, it's already a great benefit.
Meatless Monday. It's a term that's become synonymous with improving your health. Whether you're a lifelong vegan or a curious omnivore, Dr. Carolina Schneider says a whole food plant-based diet is best.
We're talking about fruits, vegetables, whole grains. So think about oats. You may see a lot of plant-based products when you're grocery shopping that come in a package, and they can be highly processed. They can have saturated fat and sodium.
A recent study showed that a plant-based diet reduced people's risk of developing type 2 diabetes, even those who were genetically predisposed to the disease or lived an inactive life.
You can't find fiber in anywhere else, in no animal food. So fiber is only found in plant foods. So fiber has the ability to regulate your blood sugar, which is very important for preventing diabetes.
New York City Mayor Eric Adams credits the food for turning his health around.
It went into dealing with my eating habits. It's about food, and was able to reverse my diabetes diagnosis. And really, we're encouraging more and more people to look at a plant-based option in how they deal with not only diabetes, but all of these underlying conditions.
It's why he's kicked off initiatives in the city like Meatless Mondays and Plant-Powered Fridays in schools to improve kids' health in the city. But if you're thinking of doing this, Dr. Schneider says talk to a dietitian and your doctor to make sure your meals are well balanced.
Of course, we do have to be careful with micronutrient deficiency. So these are some vitamins and minerals that we need to look at, specifically vitamin B12. You can't get that from a vegan diet, so you will have to supplement that.
I'm miserable and sad.
It's gray most of the time, so people feel gray inside too.
A revealing look at the state of mental health in this country.
What doctors say everyone can learn after Elmo went viral.
Sesame Street's Elmo struck a nerve recently when he posted a very simple question on X.
Yeah, he asked, Elmo is just checking in. How is everybody doing? Well, the responses he got exposed the mental health struggles many people are experiencing, and our Shirley Chan reports on it.
You know, Lily, sometimes when Elmo talks about his feelings, it makes Elmo feel better.
He's the lovable red puppet whose childlike innocence has guided Sesame Street's youngest viewers for decades. Perhaps that innocence is what led so many people to open up to his simple question, how's everybody doing? You could gauge from the response, a lot of people are struggling.
I'm miserable and sad, but you just made my day because I have never been on camera.
The winter is not the easiest season, especially this year. It's gray most of the time, so people feel gray inside too.
Me, I'm okay. I'm all right. I'm progressing in life.
Dr. Jeff Gardier is a clinical psychologist and friend of PIX11. He says he's not entirely surprised by the response generated by Elmo's tweet.
For those of us who are older, looking at Elmo reminds us of how things used to be. And so when that open-ended question is asked, it really motivates us, really sets the fire for us to talk about how things have really changed from the good old days.
He says sometimes it just takes the right person asking, how are you, for someone to open up.
This is an opportunity, I think, for people to talk about how their lives have been impacted in general, but since the pandemic.
Dr. Jeff offering this advice: if you need help, reach out. And if there's someone in your life who you think may be struggling, do the same for them.
We need a warm, fuzzy Elmo. We need a friend who brings about good feelings and allows us to be able to open up. I would encourage you to seek out someone you can talk to.
If you're happy and you know it, stamp your feet.
In a follow-up tweet, Elmo said he was glad he checked in and will do so again soon. President Biden responding to that one, our friend Elmo was right. We have to be there for each other, offer our help to a neighbor in need, and above all else, ask for help when we need it. Even though it's hard, you're never alone.
Give a call over a text, I think, to show you care more.
We need to, as people, really, we need to reflect joy from inside.
Thanks for joining us. I'm Candace Gibson.
I'm Erin E. LeBeau. Be healthy and happy.